Looking familiar, huh? Looking familiar. I know the music copyrighted, baby. The music is copyrighted, but I'm still using it, baby. I know they're gonna demonetize it, but hey, everybody come in. Go ahead and check in. We have it. This is episode 6. Go ahead and check in. Say what's up. Got a special guest tonight. Say what's up. Everybody check in. Let me know where y'all calling from tonight. This is JR Wisdom. Tuned in tonight. Shout out to everybody. Let me know. Check in. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Let me know where y'all checking in from tonight. Got a special show for y'all tonight. Mexico in the house. Compton in the house. Hub City. H-Town. Shout out to Deborah. What's happening? Hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys, so we can push this out. Let's go. Dallas. Got DFW in the building. DC. Got the Met up in here. H-Town. Am I doing it right? Hello from Delaware. I had to say Delaware like that. I'm playing, hey, show some love, man. You know, I'm playing some copyrighted music. You know they're going to hit me for this one. Hey. Let's cut it, guys. What is up, everyone? Shout out to North Carolina. Shout out to everybody tuning in. You know, that probably hurt my algorithm just now because I'm playing some music that I don't own. But, hey, it is what it is, man. You know, this is a low-budget struggle stream here. I shouldn't have put that in the ethers. This is the best dating show in the history, or basic cupping season show, where we interview some of the greatest people on this planet on their thoughts about dating and those looking for love and things like that. So we got a special guest tonight. Tell your friends, hit that like button. Guys, show some love. Real quick, if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, it helps, you know, for the algorithm one time, guys. So without further ado, man, we're going to jump right into it. I have a special guest tonight. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Without further ado, Miss Tina, how are you doing this evening? Talk to me.
I am great. How are you, JR?
Oh, I'm living the greatest day of my life. Thanks for asking. It is a pleasure having you on. You know, I know it was last minute. I don't want to get into all that because I don't want to give away all my secrets. You know what I'm saying? About what's going on behind closed doors. You know, so we're not going to do all that. But I appreciate you coming on, Tina. You know what I'm saying? Where are you calling in from tonight?
I'm from New York, Long Island, New York, actually.
New York. LI. You know, yes. What part of Long Island for the people? I guess the people that's, you know, I know y'all New Yorkers are very serious. You know, so I know y'all gotta. You can't just say, you know, when you say the borough, that's good too. But I don't know. Long Island's not a borough, is it? Is Long Island a borough?
No, Long Island is basically like its own sex by itself. It's very suburban. I'm in Nassau County. That's where I'm at in Long Island. I went to high school out here. But I mean, I go to the boroughs and things like that. I have family out there too, so it's and I'm not far. I'm just a walk, train, hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah, so Long Island, yeah. Like I said, I think I'm one of those people who always felt like he was from New York, but I never really made it to New York. I'm from the South, but I hear all the great stories, like the culture, the lifestyle. I've only been to New York once, and that was like New Year's Eve.
No.
And it wasn't technically New York, just like how you said. I guess some people don't consider Long Island New York. Like, man, I was in Times Square, and that's not New York. But you know, that's the only place where I was at. You know, I spent a weekend, but it is what it is. So
yeah.
How long
you got to make it back out here. It's amazing. There's always something to do. Like, you couldn't, anytime you feel like sitting still, there's always a reason to get up and just go. Like, there's always something to do. There's food everywhere. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got to make it out there for sure. How long have you been out there?
I've lived in New York my entire life. Like, New York, the state itself, I've lived here my whole life. I was born in Brooklyn. Yes, I was born in Brooklyn. I actually, I lived in Queens. Like I said, I have family in the boroughs. I went to school when I was younger out there. I lived in Long Island. So I've been here pretty much all my life. I did live away for a bit, but 75% of my life up until this point has been here.
You said you lived away?
Yeah, I did. No, not like jail.
Yeah. When you say you lived away, what do you mean you lived away? You're overseas?
Actually, I didn't live too far from that young lady that you had on your last episode, Delia. I lived actually out in the Midwest too. I used to live in Des Moines, Iowa. I was out there for 6 years. I had my daughter out there.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've ridden through Des Moines and yeah, I get it. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I've ridden through there
Wow.
once upon a time. So some people like it, some people don't. You know what
Wow.
I mean? But
Yeah.
you know, everybody's got their story on how they go different places. But you're back home, so I can dig it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's surprising. I don't meet a lot of people that have actually been there, you know, like even if they've just passed through or, you know, like I really don't meet a lot of people. So that's surprising. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I was in the military, and this isn't about me, but I'm just like,
Okay.
I was in the military, so I was just going through.
That makes sense.
I was moving to Washington. I think when I was moving to Washington, I think we rode through there on the way to Washington, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you're back home, out in
Yes.
out in Long Island.
Yes.
You're born and raised there. So what do you do out there?
Well, right now I'm pretty much working with my boyfriend. I do have a boyfriend.
Okay. Say
I do
less.
have a boyfriend. I do work with him. We actually do have our own company. We throw events and things like that. So we do that together. And actually, I am also a coach on the side for a young lady who is a nominee for Miss Teen New York this year.
Oh, what? So you coach what do you know? Because I know people you raise not just my eyebrows. You probably raise a lot of people's eyebrows. So you coach what in particular?
Particularly it's the public speaking. Like I
Okay,
help her to basically, yeah, like perfect her sentences, take out a lot of the likes, the you knows,
that's
speaking with
me.
the hand gestures. I know I do that. Like I told her that. I was like, I'm a horrible person to tell you not to speak with your hands, but because
I
I
do all
do
that.
it. I guess
I do
yeah.
all that shit. Yeah, I do the arms, you knows, and
Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah, I hate it, but it is what it is. But yeah.
Yeah. So basically I help with that. It's also to learning how to position yourself, curtsy, things like that, pose, posture. I, ask her very like intensive questions as well for introspection too.
Hmm.
So it's it's a little bit of everything. Yeah. I really do enjoy it though. I enjoy basically being able to empower a young woman in that way.
How did you get into that?
Originally it's because my niece was actually in the pageant.
Okay,
So
but this is a Miss New York. You said
Miss Teen New York.
Miss
Miss
Teen New
Teen
York.
New York. Yeah, then that ends up going, more. I think it actually goes regional next, and then after that, yeah,
Miss Teen New York. Okay, and you said other than
yeah.
that, you have. I'm gonna skip that. You got a business. Okay, we got that. Yeah, say less. So out there, you
hmm
doing your thing and all that. So this you've how long you been doing that for in terms of this business that business in particular?
Well, it's weird how it came together because I'm actually like I've been in event planning. Like I went to school for that and stuff like that,
Okay.
and so his idea and my background, like it kind of just came together. It just kind of worked. So.
Mm-hmm.
It's new, but
Just
I
new.
have belief in it. Yeah, I have belief in it. I think it's something that it could make history.
Yeah. So what were you doing before that?
Before that, I was a
I know
customer service rep.
I'm digging. Yeah, you was a
It's
customer service
okay.
rep.
I was a customer service rep. I was always working for somebody.
Yeah. So now it's you're not in that room. You're not working for anybody. So per se, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you You've been in New York. How long have you been back in New York for?
Now I would say this year makes it about 7, 8 years now.
Oh, so you've been there for a minute.
I've been back home for a good little while. Yeah.
So, and this was directly prior to these 7 years, you were in Iowa?
I was in Des Moines, Iowa. Yes, I
Yeah.
was. I lived in the cornfields.
Got you. No, I was just checking it. I didn't know if you was somewhere else before you moved back, but if you were in Iowa,
Yeah.
that's what I was just trying to get at. So in Iowa, so were you in a relationship? Were you in a relationship, married at that time? What was up?
I was a good story. I'm glad that you're going back there. Um,
Got you. Yeah, yeah.
I was a good story. So it was like a weird time in my life. And I was like, you know what? Let me just drop everything and just go somewhere else. And I went there because I had family there. I had an aunt there. And I got there and I was like living in the middle of this cornfields. And then I used to work at this grocery store out there. And I used to like walk home through the cornfields and stuff like that. Like it was just, yeah, it was different.
Okay.
It's different. Yeah, it's different out there. I didn't know. I didn't know they didn't have like public transportation and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So when I got out there, I was like, what's going on? And they didn't have Uber then. This is pre-Uber. So
Yeah, this is 2016, 2015. Yeah, 2014,
it's a little further. Yeah, even a little further back than that, to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
So I was out there, and then I had met. I was married out there. I had my ex-husband. I met him out there.
Okay.
I ended up meeting him later on in the future. That was random. That was
Yeah.
random. But then I got divorced. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it happens. It happens. It was
No,
crazy.
no, I get it. So you moved out there. When you moved out there though, you were single and you got married out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I moved back home, I was single again.
Okay. So you got married out there, you got divorced. How long were you married for?
um, we were together for a total of 6 years. We were married for just about half of that. I mean, that's considering like marriage and also like the period waiting until the actual divorce too, like including that.
Got you. So
Mm-hmm.
total, okay, so total 6
Yeah.
years, and all that stuff like that. So what
Yeah.
would you say? Were you how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? 'Cause some people be acting funny when I ask them their age. How old are you?
No, it's okay. I'm 34.
You're 34. So you were
Yes.
so 7 years. Hold on. So I'm trying to get my math right. So you seven
This was
you were early 20s when you got married.
Yes. I was okay, so I got pregnant with my daughter and then we got married.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that's how that went. So I got married when I was 24. So that was a long time ago. Yeah.
Okay. 10 years ago.
Mhm.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I'm just going off the math, based off everything you said, in terms of how long.
Yeah.
Got it. So 24 years old,
Yeah.
married,
I
you
was
got it. You have go ahead.
24. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was 24 when I got married, and we started like getting separated by the time I was like 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home. Yeah, I came home like
28.
it was before I was 30. Yeah, I would say about 28, 29. I'm thinking more 29, but I was probably like just about to turn 29.
So what'd you say? What was
So
what did you learn from that situation? I'm getting on my psychology ish right now. What was it? What was the reason? Why didn't it work out?
why didn't it work out? To be
Yeah.
really honest with you, I was very young. And this is just what I learned about myself
Okay.
after the process happened. I was
Tina,
very
this
young.
one
I was very
before you
Yeah,
go, Tina, no judgment zone. Continue. Go ahead.
thank you. Again, I was very young. Like even when I first moved out to Des Moines, I was like 23. Like I was
Hmm.
still, and now I look at that, I was a baby still. I didn't know
Absolutely.
anything. I was first time moving out of my mother's house, right?
Hmm.
moving to this place 1,500 miles away from home
Is
with
that far?
only my aunt there. Yeah, it's a good
Damn.
ways. Like it's about the same distance as going from New York to Florida. It would be about a whole day to drive there straight.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Like it was crazy. It was absolutely just crazy. And so so I get out there and he was like the first to be frank with you, he was like the first other like minority person that was
Okay.
in my circle.
Gotcha.
To be honest with you, yeah, it's not prevalent to see, other
Hey,
races out
I've been
there.
through there. I already know. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people surprised Jason Momoa from there. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So yeah, so that was one thing that really got us like talking and stuff like that. And then the relationship just started getting really crazy. Like it was a lot of arguments, it was a lot of fighting.
Was
To
it
be
just
honest with you,
insecurity?
like
What was it?
it was just a lot of things. It was too much of us being together. I found out later that he was like doing drugs and stuff like that too,
Okay.
so that didn't really help the situation. And then like I was a new mom again, like taking care of this child and trying to like be a wife, and then like I'm turning into this woman that I don't really think I was ready for at the
Right.
time,
Right.
and then all of a sudden that got flipped, and then I came back home, and then I had to be a mom and an ex-wife, and then living in my mom's house again. And like it was so crazy. It was so crazy. It was a crazy period of my life. It
Mm.
was. Yeah, the drugs really fed a lot into it because, the relationship just got to a much worse place, that it was very unhealthy, and it would have been worse to leave my child in that.
So the final straw was pretty much the drugs.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. And that was over and done with. So I mean, you like you said, you were young, you know, and
Yeah.
you
And
were
like prior to having a child, I was like, you know what? It's all right. Do what you got to do. You're just having fun, living life.
yeah,
We going to work. The bills get paid.
right. No, I get it.
I'm like,
Absolutely.
it's all right. You turn up your way. I'm going to turn up my way. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But, after like there's this additional like being in the house, you can't really like turn up anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not you could
Yeah.
you married now and things like that. So
Yeah.
so you move back to the city, you're single or whatever. I'm assuming your daughter is probably like 3 years old at this
At
time,
the time, yes.
3 or 4. So do you jump back into dating at this time or what's happening?
Oh yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So
Yeah.
New
Oh
York
yeah.
City, I'm always curious about this because like I said, I'm from down south. I'm slow and I'm dumb.
Don't say
What
that. I love down south.
I hear like the dating scene in the city is completely different. So enlighten me on your experience, and for the ladies that may be watching and the fellas, as far as your
First,
dating
oh
experience
my God.
in New York.
New York is just a different mindset. It's a different place. It's just a different set of people. There's so much. That's what I was telling you before. Like, even if you come here, being a bachelor man, like you would have so much fun here because there's always something to do. There's always a place to go. You're gonna meet so many people. Like, yeah, you'll make lady friends everywhere. You
Mhm.
know, that's
Yeah,
just
I'm thinking
how.
about getting me something down. Like I don't know if I got Midtown money. Hopefully, I have Midtown money soon. You know what I'm saying? Be right up in Midtown. That way, I can
There
make
you
things
go.
shake. But yeah, go ahead.
There you
Continue.
go.
Continue.
But yeah, New York, there's just too much going on. There's too much going on. And the women are beautiful out here. I'm not gonna lie. New York has some of the most beautiful women I have seen literally across the country. New York has
Right.
beautiful women. We have diversity, and it's a beautiful thing. So, kind of jumping back into the dating scene again, being almost 30, and then now I have a child too, I had to know what really I was putting myself out there for.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I'm just gonna be out there,
Yeah.
I was in the
So
streets.
so basically you were just like you just got out of a marriage. So you was just like, I'm free now doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
dating with a purpose, but I spent my youth married, so I'm living life now.
yeah, pretty much. When you go and you like, you have to let go of that type of commitment. I don't think jumping into a commitment again is really going to be the first thing on your mind.
Yeah, facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to jump back into. I don't care what anybody. Some people do, but I never understood how people like. Hey, I want to get
Same.
married again. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
jump back into it after you going through some stuff like that.
Yeah. Same.
So
There's nothing wrong with getting married again, but I just knew for me, like I was not healthy. I just was
yeah,
not gonna be healthy towards anybody after all of that. Like I just was not gonna be healthy towards anybody
mm, yeah.
at all.
So what was obviously I'm assuming you were just like because you were just dating. Was there like was it like a pattern that you noticed dating when you got back in those fields,
With
coming from being
me
married?
or with
With guys,
the
dating
gentleman?
guys in New York. Was there like a pattern? What was your experience with that? Was there a pattern with guys?
Um, yes, I would say not being consistent,
Mhm.
inconsistency was definitely a pattern.
Okay.
Also too, not having actual real phone conversations. A lot of texting,
Yes.
I a lot of texting. I don't like that. I want to
So
hear your
you're a
voice. I want to
talker.
hear how you sound. Yes, absolutely. I'm a Gemini. I'm gonna just
And
put that out there right now.
I didn't get to that. I didn't get to that. I was going to ask you what part because that's I was just thinking. I said I didn't even ask her sign. What
Hmm.
part of the spectrum of Gemini are you?
I am a May Gemini, and even on my birth chart, like when I have checked it, I am a Gemini through and through. I am rising, descending, like I am a Gemini through and through.
Mhm. So
Yeah,
you're
so
May.
I go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're May. You're a May Gemini. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So for people who are wondering, because obviously, we see a woman that's a minority. What's your ethnic background?
My family is Caribbean, and my mother does have part Portuguese in her too.
Okay. Can you be more specific, Tina, when you say Caribbean? Caribbean is all
Yeah,
encompassing
it's
thing. So,
true. There's a lot of us.
because I know what
My
they want to know, like where's she from? Where's she from? Yeah. What's her
my
ethnicity? Go ahead.
my parents are both Guyanese actually. They're both from Guyana in South
Hmm.
America. I
Okay.
know. It's one of the places in the Caribbean that is not an island.
Facts. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, so that's really where I guess you could say my heart is. Like that's what I grew up on, is like that's the culture I know. Those are the ideals I grew up on, as far as like raising a family and my morals and stuff. That's where it's based.
Yeah. Now
Mhm.
I have limited knowledge on Guyana. I had a coworker, you know, that was from there, and I got kind of you guys are on the equator, right? Or is it right by the
Yes.
equator?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he told me a few things about it, and when I was in basic training, we had a guy from Guyana, but that's as far as my knowledge goes. But I'm pretty sure everyone, probably jumping around, waving their flags and things about Guyana and things like that, in terms of, the pride and whatnot. So Caribbean, New York City, she's a Gemini in terms of that. So you guys are compatible with
A lot
I
of
know
fire signs.
I know your birth chart and all that, so you should know all this.
A
Hey,
lot of fire signs. A lot of fire signs. I can honestly tell you that. I can honestly say that the best conversations I've had have probably been with Aries and Leos, and that's the honest truth of it. Aries and Leo men, I've had very good conversations with. I don't know.
Leo's are
I
right
really it's weird to describe it, but it's just we feed off of each other a lot, and I'm very like creative and imaginative, and it kind of like it enables them too. So I can honestly say that those are the best conversations that I've wholeheartedly had.
Somebody said not a Virgo. Yeah, I mean Virgos aren't the only ones. Virgos aren't the only ones that's creative, guys. Come on, hey.
Yeah.
Every time somebody think about creativity, Virgo, 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 Virgo. I mean, we get it, we get it. But real
My
quick,
ex-husband
guys,
was a Capricorn. I'll tell you that much. My ex-husband was a Capricorn. I would never do that again.
this guy's a cap. This guy's a cap. About my money, man. About my money, man. Listen, hey, but real quick, you guys hit that like button. We got 56 people in the chat, 57 to be exact. There's only 35 people that like this video. We have the beautiful Tina in here by way of New York City, by way of Guyana, and south of the, well, right on the equator to be exact. So you guys hit that like button. It's easy like Sunday morning and shoplifting. We should have at least 60. It's 61 now. We should have at least 60 likes. It's easy. I want to give a special shout. I think that was Deborah that gave a super chat. A long time subscriber. Shout out to Deborah. If I'm pretty sure that was you, Deborah. I don't want to be attributing some money that to somebody else. Yeah. Shout out to Deborah. You know, long time subscriber. She's been with me for years. So shout out to Deborah. I appreciate you, you know, with the super chat. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Make sure that y'all run the likes up to 60. We have the beautiful Tina in here tonight, and she's giving, you know, she's telling some incredible stories here. You know what I'm saying? It's New York City lifestyle and by way of Iowa and things like that. So, you know, so you're in the dating scene and you're learning obviously about
Yeah.
yourself in the late 20s, which is, you know, I sympathize with you because I didn't get back out in these streets,
Yeah.
as they say, these streets until my early 30s.
Oh wow.
So um was it did you find it difficult to catch on, or was it like you were being fooled early on, or was it like how was that? Was it like awkward? How was it for you?
For me personally, it was something I really like. Honestly and truly, it was something I had to get used to.
Mm,
I'm a very straightforward person. I'm very frank with how I feel and the things that I think,
hmm.
and I'm just very like upfront with what is on my mind. And going back into the dating game, I realized that a lot of the men, either they didn't like that, or they just
What man
they
doesn't like? I keep hearing women say that. I'm sorry to cut you off, Tina, but I
yeah.
have to. What man doesn't like a woman that's straightforward though? Because that's what most, including myself, that's what most men that I feel that's what we complain about, or have not complain about. We have a gripe about with women is that they're not straightforward. You know, they talk in
Hmm.
innuendo. They're like very
Hmm.
fickle and things like that. But what you said that men have had issues with that?
Yes, and I'm gonna explain to you why, because it was something that I had to correct. It wasn't what I was saying, it was how I was saying it. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I come off and I'm saying something to you and I'm like, yo, ba 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 ba, this is how I feel about something, you're gonna take it like I'm coming at you.
yeah,
But if I come to you and I'm like, hey, do you have a second? I need to talk to you about something,
yeah.
there's a difference in the type of approach that I'm coming at you. So that's why I would say that maybe men didn't like the fact that I was straightforward. It might have just been the way I was coming at them, saying things like, and I'm a woman.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, and
Hmm.
I hate to keep talking about this, but like I said, New Yorkers are like so serious. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, like New
Hmm.
York women, and I hate the stereotype, but this is what how myself and I believe other people think. New York women are very straightforward. They're very blunt. They'll tell your ass off or go off on
Yeah.
you and things like
Yeah.
that. So I would expect New York men to expect that from the women. You know what I mean? As opposed to if you
Yes.
move down somewhere else. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. I can say that, if you're another New Yorker, absolutely, you know that those are things that just come being with you.
Yes.
Um, but again, too, I mean, it depends on the type of person you want to be with too. It depends on the type of relationships you want to be in. If you're aggressive, and your partner likes that too, that's upon you.
Mm,
That's if you like that. I didn't like the feedback I was getting, so I decided
got
to
you.
change my approach.
You changed your
Hmm.
approach on it. And
Yeah.
did that was that more favorable for you? Did you see like was it just a communication thing? Was it like how did that work for you?
I liked it just because of the type of conversations that I was having. It was becoming more open and more relaxed rather than me trying to feel like I had to pull words from a man. And that's
Right.
something that I realized I had to deal a lot with in my past. Like I always felt like I was pulling teeth. But if I come to the table and I'm open, and I am still honest, I'm gonna go ahead and get the feedback that I want, whether it is honesty or it is emotions or whatever it might be.
I can dig it. I was highlighting Princess India's comment right here. You shouldn't make decisions by star signs, but that shit's still relevant as fuck.
Yeah,
Yo,
no, I agree with her. I
yeah, it's
agree.
still
For some reason, it's still right.
yeah,
But it's like, why? Like, the astrology is so crazy. It's so
yeah.
commercial still.
Yeah, it's like I said, I was turned off, and I hate to keep going back to it, but it's just a thing that
No, please.
there are men into it, but men tend to like be like, but obviously most of my guests are women, so
Yes.
and I find that more women are inclined to astrology in terms of that. You know what I'm saying? It's all new to me, but it's like a lot of the stuff that's said, I'm just like, man, is this a coincidence, or is this does this just apply to everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? You know what I mean? So back to that though. So you worked on your harsh bluntness that was hurting some guys' feelings, right? And you got that. So did you notice like things start I think I already asked you that, but did things start changing, or was it a different type of guys that you would be dating at that point, or it was just certain dudes are just like, I'm not even gonna deal with you because
I'm
of this
sorry. I
energy?
lost you for a second. I'm sorry.
My bad. I didn't even look at the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Did you notice like once you found that out about yourself and you changed your energy, you shifted your energy to that state? Did you notice the type of guys that you would date would be different, or the interactions would be different? And I think I might have just asked you that, but I just wanted to clarify. You know.
What I did notice is that the men that I was attracted to
Hmm.
did not feed well off of the way I was approaching things. Does that
What do
make
you
sense?
what type of men were you attracted to? I'm not saying you're attracted to the same guy now, the same
Yeah.
type of men now, but what at that
Yeah.
time you are? Okay,
At the
go ahead.
no, I'm not. No,
Yeah,
no, no, no. The type
yeah.
of my boyfriend right now is, and I don't think I would have ever like imagined somebody like him. Like he came out of nowhere. But the type of men I was dating before, like, oh yeah, I liked like drug dealers and like, the frauds.
You like to live on the edge. You like that excitement,
Yeah,
huh?
the
You
street
like that,
pharmacists. Yeah.
yeah. You like that emotional variety. What
It
was it?
was
What was it? Just out of curiosity, because
mhm.
I'm just asking you, what was it about these guys that you were attracted to, from a woman's standpoint? Now that you're older, you're not old, but now that you're older, looking back, what was it about them that
Right.
you were attracted to?
For me personally, my parents were very strict growing up with me. Like I couldn't even
Okay,
have boys call my house. I never had a boy call my house. Like that's the honest truth. Yeah, my parents were very, very strict. I
makes
never
sense.
had a boy call my house. Like I remember when I was in high school, I had tried to sneak this guy into my house, and then my dad found out and he took my door off of my room.
Yeah, yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah. So I mean, that's old school parenting. Everybody's not gonna understand that. But yeah, so I mean, that was just what I was into. So once I got older, that was the type of men that I ended up dating because they were showing me around, they were taking me partying. They were all usually like 21 or older.
Yeah.
So they were getting me liquor and then they had cars. So I would pick up my friends and we would just ride out. So
But I'm saying once you move back though, when you were in your late 20s, were you still dealing with those type of guys?
when I first came back, I did. I did. I was still kind of dealing with those type of men at first. Yes. Yes, I was. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. But it was weird because the more I started working on myself is the more like we would distance from each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can dig that. So that
Hmm.
you started having your little wait, not little, but you started having. I hate saying little because it's so demeaning. Whatever. You're
It's
awake.
really a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, you're awakening or whatever like that.
Hmm.
So once this your shift in what you look for in a man, what was it that you felt was right for you? And even now, what is it that you would describe as your ideal man?
Right now for me,
Yeah.
well, what I was looking for, like even prior to being in my relationship, like what I was looking for. I needed a very like earnest man. I needed somebody who was, if he says
Hey,
this is what he's
hey, I,
doing,
I I noticed you throwing that
yeah.
You be throwing that Frank and Ernest out there. You
You
know what I'm saying? You know how people like, yeah, to be quite frank, to be quite earnest. Yeah, I see you though. Go ahead though with Frank and Ernest. Keep talking about Frank and Ernest. Continue.
You were so funny.
Yeah,
You know it's crazy because nobody in New York knows about Frank Ernest like that. Like I
yeah,
only
yeah,
used to hear that in Iowa. I never used to
yeah.
hear that here.
To be quite Frank and Ernest.
To be
Yeah,
quite frank and earnest, yep.
yeah.
But
Continue.
yeah, no, I need somebody honest. I need somebody who's honest. I need somebody who's very open too. I do like a man who, if he says he's gonna go and do this, then that's what he's gonna do. I need to be able to really trust somebody who, when you have your individual time and you just want to go do your thing and just, recuperate yourself, I can trust you. That's a big thing too, but I think that comes a lot with communication. I have a child, so I need somebody who's interested in, being a family man. Somebody who just wants to really, just open up opportunities with each other. I want us to really grow together. We might not be where we want to be right now, but we can be where we want to be together.
Got it. Frank Ernest. You need some dude that's solid in terms of that. So yeah. What's so funny? What you laughing about?
Frank Ernest, I love it.
Yeah. I mean, when I hear that, man, you know what I think of, to be honest, for all you young jits that may not know, there's you ever seen that movie The Long Kiss Goodnight?
No, I haven't. You're
With,
actually giving me a movie recommendation. I
okay.
might just watch that
Yeah.
now.
So check this out for all y'all listening to as well. The Long Kiss Goodnight, Samuel L. Jackson, what's old girl name? Yeah, somebody's gonna put it in the chat. Um y'all put her name in the chat, The Long Kiss Goodnight. I don't feel like Googling it. Anyway,
I'm
it's
gonna look
about
that up tonight.
Charlie Baltimore. You know the rapper Charlie Baltimore?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where she got her name from. Charlie Baltimore
Okay.
is the character in The Long Kiss Goodnight, who that's her alter ego of the chick's name. Anyway,
Okay.
Long Kiss Goodnight. Samuel L. Jackson, he says that in the interview. He was like, depending on what city I'm in, I'm Frank, and I'm Ernest or whatever like that. But go check that out. I think it's a good movie. I like it.
I'm gonna check that.
Matter of fact, let me look this up, man. You got me. Her name is The Long Kiss Goodnight.
I love Samuel though. I love Samuel Jackson. I do. I love
Gina
Samuel
Davis.
Jackson. Okay. Yes,
Yeah,
I
Gina
know Gina
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is the movie right here for all you guys who that's it right here. Long Kiss Goodnight. So her name is Charlie
Okay, so
Baltimore.
oldie.
Yeah, she's an assassin, Charlie Baltimore,
Okay.
and he, very good movie. But
Okay.
anyway, so at that time, so what, barring what would be your, other than you just named some characteristics in terms of that. Yeah, somebody said you on your Florida slang, little jit. Yeah, little jitterbug. Hey man, I got slang from all over, man. I use colloquialisms from all over the country,
Yeah.
whatever like that. So, so you're, whether the big homies watching or not, what would be, other than those traits you name, ideally, was there ever a preference that you had in terms of a man, like in terms of physically, how he would look?
Yeah, I like very like football player type men, like,
So you like big
nice.
dudes.
Yeah, I like nice, like tall, like take care of themselves, you
How about
know.
an offensive lineman? I mean, you know about football, so I'm just trying to. Would you date a lineman?
um I mean, me personally, the type of woman that I am, I mean, I want the quarterback,
You
I want the middleman. I want the one who's
so so
important.
so Brady's a heavyweight. Brady's on the heavy side, and what's Jameis Winston is on the heavy side. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I'm just
Hmm.
talking about in terms of
Like Cam
physique. But
Newton, Cam Newton, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton's a little bit in more shape. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying
Yes.
in terms of physique. So you like a bigger guy, a more athletic build on a guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any so I'm assuming 6 foot or 6 foot plus.
Hmm.
You wouldn't have dated a shorter guy.
I mean, I'm 5'6", so I'm not really, I'm a little above, I think, average height. I think average height is 5'4", 5'5".
Right.
So yeah, I would probably say, I would have to do like 5'11" or taller.
So he can't be shorter than you.
No, no, no. Why would I want somebody shorter than me? I have a
You,
child. Could you
you might have a good
imagine
person.
me?
You think your child gonna beat him up? I mean,
Oh my God, are you serious? My daughter would probably try to dress him up like a doll. Like,
damn, that's crazy as hell, man. So a dude that's 5'6" wouldn't have a shot. Damn, that's
no,
cold.
I mean, like, I would give him a hug and let him go along his way.
So 5'11" or above. There's only a small percentage, but I guess I can dig it. So
Yeah.
wait. You prefer athletic, but could he have been a fat dude?
No,
No,
no.
damn.
Mm-mm. I've had you're so silly. I've
I'm just
had
go ahead.
yeah, I've had like, bigger men like hit on me before. But to be honest with you, like in my mind when they do that, like I look at them kind of like, oh, that's cute. Like
So the dad, because I just did a video on this, and I'm gonna ask you since you're here,
mhm.
because overwhelmingly in my experience, somebody said Donovan Donovan McNabb, um, Donovan Sharp. Let me stop. Shout out to Donovan Sharp. Um, where the fuck was I going? I lost my fucking train of thought. Holy shit. What was I
Big
saying?
guys, big guys. It was about the big guys talking to big men.
Yeah. So big guys. You got a big dude. Damn, where was I going? Yeah, the dad bod. Excuse me.
Mhm.
So overwhelmingly, it seems that women are okay, with the dad bod. Right now, I would consider myself, this is fat wisdom currently. So skinny wisdom is coming. And I know I've been telling y'all this for a
Mhm.
few months now, but skinny wisdom is coming. Relax. So, but I've heard overwhelmingly from women that the dad bod is really like, based off polls and surveys. And I'm not, your preference is your preference. I'm not asking you to
Yeah.
change anything. I'm just asking you
Yeah.
because I think everybody's entitled to their own preference on what they
Right.
find, to be their preference.
Right.
But I've seen overwhelmingly the dad bod has been a preference based on surveys. So I what's your thoughts on that in terms of the dad bod? And obviously, if you don't know what the dad bod is, which I'm assuming you do, right?
So the dad bod is a little different. Like, it's like if you look at that man and you're like, he has a dad bod, it's because you understand, like, he's busy being a dad. But if you see a man that's just, he's not a dad, you shouldn't be looking like a dad bod. I don't know how to explain it.
So if he don't got kids, he can't have the dad bod.
Like it just, you shouldn't because you have the time to be able to take care of yourself. Like I would think so, even with myself. Like, I mean, I have a child, I still make time to take care of myself. I mean, I work out with my child too. Like
Yeah.
we'll work out together.
Yeah, I think everybody really. I was having a conversation with the young lady yesterday that we all have time.
Mhm.
One way we all have at least
Yes.
can at least dedicate 30 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, to do that in terms
We
of
all
that.
have the
But
same 24 hours. You know what I mean?
right,
That's the whole thing. We all have the same exact 24
that's
hours.
my thoughts, and that goes for my yeah, that goes for me too. That it boils down to laziness and things like that. So we got that in terms of that. Your preferences. So what would be what are some deal breakers for you with in terms of men?
um
What are some things
I
you
would
won't
definitely say
tolerate? You're just like I
I
can't.
could say, yeah, I could say like personally for me, like I had two relationships that were really really bad like in the past, like just throughout my like dating.
Okay,
Um and it's been cheating, obviously, it's been cheating. And in one time, the person actually still did, have a partner. And I didn't know, you know, I
so the
was very
person you were
naive.
dealing with had a woman.
Yeah, you
Okay,
know, and that was something like I just didn't know. I was very naive. So I just didn't know that. But you grow and you learn those things. I was still young.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
cheating, we got cheating. So
Hmm.
cheating is definitely a deal breaker. What else you got there?
I would say after cheating, I don't like laziness.
Okay.
Laziness is definitely one too. I don't like laziness. After that, I do like a man that still is able to have like an interest for himself. I don't want like somebody who would just, kind of get lost in the relationship and lose his sense of self.
You mean in terms of being head over heels over you and not like
Yeah,
up your ass
yeah,
all the time?
yeah,
Okay. I think that's all women, but go ahead. I feel you.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I can
yeah.
definitely understand that. Yeah. So yeah, have you had that happen where dudes
In the
lost interest?
past, yeah, like in the past, yeah, definitely. Like, some and a lot of men too, you don't realize like some men well, okay, let me get my words right. A lot of men that I have just been with or crossed paths with, and even other women I have spoken to, you know, a lot of men do not actually have very long and committed relationships. So they don't actually know how to be in relationships. So it's like, going ahead and trying to get to know a person sometimes is something that they're learning along with you. So a lot of times, like, that's kind of what ended up happening to me in that sense.
That they didn't know how to be in a relationship.
They don't, yeah, like they don't know how to really relate basically to a woman.
I'm thinking about that. So you do you think women are like better at that? And I'm not saying this as a just to call you out or anything. I'm just asking in general. Like, or do you think it's just a lack of because like what you said, like men and or women can be in, be serial daters or
Yeah,
basically for years, for shit
yeah,
decades, not years,
yes.
decades. So do you think it's specific to, in your opinion, because I know you may have girlfriends that you talk to and things like that. Do you think it's specific to one sex or like,
I wouldn't know, and I can openly and honestly tell you that I don't think it's specific to one, gender of people at all. Absolutely not. Serial dating is something that can happen with both sexes.
yeah,
I think it's just more prevalent for men to be more forward about it.
you said it's more prevalent for men to be more forward.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
So you think women want to, preserve their innocence by not talking? I'm not think,
Oh
but you
yeah,
you believe
absolutely.
they want to preserve their innocence by saying they don't.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah,
I think that is a thing though. I'm glad that you said that. And I don't know if we talked, did we say that about yeah, your honesty.
yeah.
I appreciate you being honest about that.
Yeah,
Preserving some of these things that we're like, I'm a woman and you know, I I'm not on that type.
yeah,
If you date, you date. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in
yeah.
a relationship, that's the way I look
Mhm.
at it. She's for the streets. She's for the streets. No, I mean she's dating. I mean, where's the ring at? She's got a
Yeah.
ring on her finger and it's different, man. Like,
That's the whole
mm,
thing. Like if that's where you want to be, then go be there.
yeah.
But you can't go ahead and be in two places at one time.
Hmm.
You have to know at the end of the day what it is that you're really looking for and
Right.
what it is that you're really trying to go ahead and hold yourself to.
Indeed.
Yeah, again, this is, all prior to me being where I'm at right now. But I had to, in order for me to be here, I had to go through what I did. So,
There you go.
hmm,
There you go. That's your journey in terms of that. So
yeah,
those are the major deal breakers. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to add to that. I'm pretty
not
sure. I know I got you on
really.
the spot. Probably some other
Not
things.
not I mean, I don't know. When I was dating, to be honest with you, I was very picky. Like I would look at somebody and I'm just like, I don't like the way that like, he like smells, his cologne doesn't smell good, or like I don't like dirty fingernails either. Like,
I don't
so
like
like
that
that
shit. I
was
don't like that
something.
either, man. I don't see how. To be honest with you, and that's why I always say women are nastier than men are, because a woman will sleep and let a man put those fingers in, unnamed places at this time. Let that man put them crusty, dusty fingernails in all these unspoken
I don't know.
places and lay down with a dusty dude that smells like a junior bacon cheeseburger, with extra onions. And I'm just like, you're nasty, like you
Yeah.
nasty, and perform all sort of acts that you only see on Xvids and Pornhub. On the hub, excuse me.
Yeah.
To do those
It's
type of
yeah.
things. So I don't. That's why I've always felt that way in terms of that. But I'm
It's so weird until I got, sorry to cut you off, until I got
no, you good.
back into the dating game later was when I actually really learned about like the extremes that women do, go through when they go and they date these men, because I like clean fingernails. I like to know that a man keeps himself up, I like to know that a man is taking care of himself, that he's, prioritizing correctly for himself as well as for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I see these other women and the type of men that they date and like, they don't have homes and all kinds of things. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Putting
Like,
them
that's
up,
so
putting
weird to
that's
me.
all I talk about. Putting them up, I'll give you a place to
Yeah.
stay. I know New York, y'all famous for subleasing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be subleasing, and you
Yes.
sublease from your
Yes.
grandma, and then you bring this
Mm-hmm.
dude in there on the sublease from the section. And I'm not just talking about Section 8, but you obviously knew I was talking about Section 8 when I say
Yeah.
subleasing. So you're gonna sublease Section 8, then you're gonna bring the big homie up in there that don't got no job,
Yes.
and he's the king of the castle of a Section 8 sublease.
Yeah.
It's beyond me. But
Yeah.
that's just my thoughts on that. But
Yeah. But like I said, that's also a pattern that you have to be able to learn and go through. Do you want to keep on dealing with men of those type of behavior? You can't get mad at that man for having a big ego when you're doing those things for him and he hasn't really performed it all too.
fact.
Yeah, you can't feed his ego and he's not really homosexual.
Shout out to Presto. Shout out to Presto Stranger. That's what it is right
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
On that HBO time. You know what I'm saying? So sheesh, good
Yeah.
night. I mean, and then get upset and just losing sleep and crying and heartbroken
Yeah.
over somebody that can't even buy you
Yeah.
a quarter water, as you guys say up there.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
even better for you, they can't even buy you a bacon, egg, and cheese. So
Yeah, yeah. Can't even buy you none of that, man. Sheesh.
yeah.
Good night.
So
I'm,
it's
I'm gonna have to. I'm
yeah.
gonna have to go to because I've been talking about that, man. I gotta make my trip up there this summer, man. I gotta head up there for sure.
Yeah.
So
New York is different. New York is different, but
yeah,
it's great though.
absolutely, absolutely. So you going through that, you got the deal breakers. So from your journey and all that, what have you learned in terms of, I'm not saying what you bring to the table because I never asked that because it's so corny in my estimation.
Hmm.
But when a man is in a relationship with you, what can he expect from you?
And well, definitely communication for one, open communication.
Okay.
I can definitely say I'm willing to cooperate and work with him. Um,
If he's broke,
I'm excuse me.
if he's broke, hey,
No, I do need
I'm willing to
I
work
do
with
need
him.
a man with a job. I do need a
Okay.
man with a job. I do.
Okay.
I do need a man with a proper job. I'm not saying he has to make 6, 7 figures. Like I said, if we don't have it alone, then we can have it together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's okay, but he should at least be making, a decent way for himself. Again, like I'm 34, so
So what's
I
decent? Let's clear all the BS
yeah.
for all of you because I've been hearing this. People be commenting on my videos. New York is this. New York is that. Blah blah blah. That's bullshit. You can't make that in. What's a good? And I don't know if the boroughs, if it's different for the boroughs. What's a decent salary for you for a guy who you would take seriously? What's a decent salary for you for a guy to be making?
Like if I see he's living like independently and like taking care of himself and like doing things like that, like living out here in New York, I mean, he
Hmm.
would have to be making maybe like a good 80 grand, maybe 70.
So 80, 70, 80 grand is
Maybe
good for a single
70,
guy.
maybe. Yeah, I would think so. I would
Okay.
think so.
Because
And
we be
that's
hearing.
considering like he's living in a proper neighborhood, like, and things of that nature too. Like I don't want to date somebody that's like living in the hood too, to be real with you. Like I'm trying to bring like I have a child.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Tina, because we be hearing all these inflated stories.
hmm
New York, you got to make $200,000 a year to live in New York. You know,
Again,
rent
everybody,
rent
to
is
each its own.
$2,800 a month in New
To
York.
each
Twenty eight
its
hundred
own,
dollars for a
Jr.
one bedroom.
Yeah, to each its own, JR. I'm gonna tell you that too. Like to each its own. Yeah, there are a lot of people they'd rather they person go ahead and what I'm see. That's in Hell's Kitchen. That's in Manhattan. Manhattan is super duper expensive.
So
hmm
20 twenty
Like
eight
it's
hundred.
yeah,
All this 2,800 is bullshit, is what you're saying.
yeah. Basically, like I said, like he would just have to. I didn't say he was living in luxury, but at least he's able to take care of himself,
Yeah.
and he's willing to
So
put in the
80,
work
70, 80
to
grand.
take care of himself. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, because like I said, we 200,000 is what you
hmm
gotta have being up in New York to live a good life. And I'm like, I know, and it's I don't know,
Yeah,
100 grand,
that's
I
like
make
in the
200
city and
grand.
stuff like that. Yeah, that's like in the city. Like the city is very, very expensive. Manhattan, Queens, like it's very, very expensive, especially in
I
Manhattan.
thought
Like
Long
I mean,
Island was
it's
pretty
ridiculous.
I thought Long Island was pretty. You gotta have some bread to be in Long Island too, but that's not true.
I feel like for the apartments and renting, like it's not as bad. I feel like you kind of see more of the money go ahead and being installed like when they're homeowners because of the taxes and stuff like that.
What's rent? What's rent? What's the average rent? Does it differ from borough to borough? I'm not talking about no high rise or like what he talking about $4,000. What's if you want to get like a 1 or 2 bedroom? What are you looking like spending? I'm just out of curiosity.
I
You
could
just
tell
have
you
to look
for a studio right now on Long Island is like just a little less than 2,000 just for a studio. It's a
just
little
for a
less than
studio.
2,000. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the boroughs it just depends. I'm not talking about in like you said
Mm-hmm.
in the hood or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like just if you just want to live like a nice, decent, safe area in an apartment, you're probably
Yeah.
looking at I'm assuming spending the same around 2 grand
Yeah.
for an apartment. Okay. For a studio. Okay, got it. 'Cause I just wanted to clear that up because a lot of us like, man, New York, da, 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 all this crazy stuff. He had 3 miles to feed off 80,000. What if he wants his own trip? Okay. Interesting. So
Like I said, a bachelor. I did say a bachelor
bachelor.
owning his own place. Yes, I did say
Bachelor.
that.
Okay. I got you. So they need to that's the minimum of coming to the table. I got you in terms of
That
that.
would, yeah, basically, yes. Like
Yeah.
you, like what would be the minimum? That would be the minimum. Because I mean, if I become involved with somebody like that, we can make things work at that point. Like we can do things together. I would be able to help him out too.
I know you
So,
recognize lyrics, so when I say I have my cash, have sex with your cash, it can't hurt us. I say that in all my videos. That's not
yeah.
That's not Nasir Jones, but I'll for those of you who didn't know, that's not Nasir Jones that said that. You know, but what's that? There's no me without you. Ashanti, that Ashanti song on Murder Inc.
That was so long ago.
Yeah, he's on the remix. Whatever that remix is, he says
Yeah.
that on that remix. Nas is on that song, and that's when he said, "My cash can have sex with your cash." Anyway, I'm a firm believer of that. My cash can have sex with your cash.
Yeah. Well, that's to bring the conversation full circle. That was pretty much what I was saying in the beginning when you were asking, what I was looking for or what it is that I do have now,
Mm-hmm.
was to really just go ahead and collide minds and try to see what we can do together and see if we can build something positive from it.
That's how you should be instead of just being the
Yeah.
cute. Instead of being cute, just saying, "All right, so what you gonna do?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
You lost your job? What's happening? Hey, let me call up. Nah, I'm just joking. Man. Anyway, you kind of know who you're dealing with, But I guess
Yeah.
it is what it is. So he can expect communication from you. He can expect cooperation. You're not on that type of time in terms of what you was already saying like that. So you have one daughter. Is that
I
correct?
have one child. She's 10.
Oh yeah, so 10, 34, 24, and 24. Yeah, you said that.
Yep.
Okay. Got you. Say less. So are you looking to have more kids in the future or
I mean, I would like to have more kids in the future. It'd be nice, you know, if it happens. If it
how
doesn't
many
happen,
how, many-
that's
how, many-
okay
how many
too.
kid how many kids maybe? What's the max?
I mean, if God blesses me, maybe two. I could do two.
So you could do two. I
Yeah.
mean, this like I said, this is all preference. I'm not there's no right or wrong. Tina, there's no right or
Yeah.
wrong answer, Tina. I'm just asking you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
two,
In my mind, I could do two. I don't know what my reality might be and like, monetary and things like that. But
yeah.
yeah.
No, I can dig it. Like I said, there's no wrong answer. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
speak your mind. This is no judgment. There's no like two geriatric pregnancy. Geriatric pregnancy is next is in a year. Your birthday's in May, so you'll be
No.
35 in May. How dare you have a child at 35?
Yeah.
No, that's you know, nah.
I actually like I know people like in even in my family who, they had babies later and they're fine.
There's a lot of
They were
women who have
healthy
babies
and
later. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
think that it's something to like, we have to kind of get used to that dynamic too because people are really kind of getting married and settling down a lot later too. So
later.
that is kind of expected. Mhm.
Later, for sure. That's definitely happening. So this
Mhm.
whole I get it, the whole 30, 35 high risk geriatric and all that stuff. But like you said, there are women in their 40s. There are women in their 40s. I'm pretty sure you can go to any
Yeah.
OBGYN and they got stats up about women in their 40s having kids. You know what I mean? So that's that. So it sounds like you're saying you're willing to cooperate, you're willing to, listen, understanding and things like that. So what are your thoughts on submission, on being submissive? Your
Okay,
face
so
your
can
face
we
changed, but yeah, go ahead. Continue.
let's
Yeah.
clear this up because I feel like men's version of submission and women's version of submission are two totally different things. So when you
Okay.
ask that, you're asking it from whatever your intent is in your mind, but I'm hearing it and I'm understanding it different. So,
So you're asking what's my what how do I see it in my opinion?
yeah. Yeah.
So how I see it, and I speak for my I know people like to speak me like for the community and things like that. I look at submission in terms of traditionally, this is this new age thing they got going on, that the man, as I don't care, it's like I don't feel like a woman should be taking care of the house in terms of
Mhm.
paying the rent, moving a man in, and things like that. The man understand that the man is, and I've always say this, and I got the He-Man woman here's, giving me issues about this. The man is the custodian, the caretaker, the cherisher, sustainer of the woman and the family. And he is the provider no matter whether she decides to work or not.
Mhm.
He's ultimately responsible for the family. So, being that he's ultimately responsible for the family, that the woman be in submission to him in terms of being that helpmate, being able to assist, basically not being the source of contention in his life, being able to say, hey, as the man, I'm doing what's best for the family. You have counsel as my helpmate, my wife, my significant other. There's counsel there, but you are in agreement, or basically you trust me enough to be able to lead this
Mhm.
family.
Mhm.
Therefore, you will submit to what it is and not be like, you ain't, or basically be that thorn that just like I'm gonna basically be in opposition or whatever you say,
Yes.
just because I want to.
Yes.
That's my thoughts on it.
Yes.
People have their other thoughts, but in terms of being cooperative, which I think that submission and cooperation, as you said, I think those things go hand in hand. So that's
I
that's
agree
how I
with
feel
you.
about it. So if you
Mhm.
feel like, and this is what I said, I forgot what show it was. Why be in a relationship with a man that you're not willing to submit to? Why give
Mhm.
up the buns, right? Why be intimate with a man that you're not willing to be you submit sexually to him, but why wouldn't you feel like, okay, I could fuck this guy, but I don't think that he's able to lead a fucking checkbook out of, you know, negative, the negative or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Why would you continue on, but well, I just like having sex with the guy, but I don't trust him to pay the rent on time. It's shit like that. So I just think it's certain things that a man traditionally traditionally
Mm-hmm.
is responsible, regardless of what the he-man woman haters, and I've had opposition throughout me doing videos like, she should work, she should do this, there's no way in hell that she's not going to contribute, she should work, she should help me. Why are you getting married if you can't take care of this woman and the family? It's not saying that she shouldn't work. If she wants to work, that's on her.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to come to an understanding that, you're gonna contribute. If you want to work, you have to contribute in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You can't just take the money. You're not gonna clean up, and you're gonna pocket the money. I mean, you're gonna work, pocket the money, and you're not gonna help out.
Yeah.
That's just me. But anyway, that's my thought.
I
Sorry, I was
think
still on that.
no, it's
Yeah,
okay because I think what you said, it has a lot to really unpack. I think I'm gonna
absolutely.
kind of work backwards a little bit.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say for the first thing, I think that the reason why a lot of people are having these problems in their marriages is because when those people are getting together, they're not really worried about the marriage; they're worried about the wedding. And I think that
One hundo, one
I
thou
think
wow.
that that's where the problem is really it really comes to. You want to go ahead and have that lavishness and you want the puppy love and you want all of that, but when it actually comes to every day and your lifestyle and this person is going to be there all the time, you can't handle that. And why can't you handle that? Because when you were making up a story before, you were still having your own story on the side as well. That's my personal opinion, and that's just based on what I've seen with a lot of the females that I have known throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth of it. So, again, there's a lot of want for the wedding, but there's not a lot of want for the marriage. I
You taking
think
it straight out of a page out of J.R. Wisdom's videos, but I feel you. I'm not saying you did, but you're exactly right. But
yeah.
continue.
But you see,
I'm
I
liking what
think
I'm hearing. I'm
yeah,
liking
no,
what
but I
I'm
think
hearing.
that you and I can relate on that because again, like we've been through that situation, so
Yeah.
we can actually reflect on that. We do understand that marriage is something that should be vowed and sanctified. So when we see that there's this collapse happening in that part of society in general, it's kind of like, well, why is that? And I think a lot of people are not really analyzing their behavior in the marriage. They're analyzing the behavior for the wedding.
Right. Let's not mention the baby showers, but go ahead, continue. Yeah. Let's not mention that.
I think, yeah. Sorry, you had my mind go on for a second with
No,
the
you
baby
good. You good.
showers.
Continue.
Um, yeah, I think after the marriage comes in, I think the next thing that kind of comes after that with the submission, that should have been something that was kind of established again through the dating process and prior to the wedding. And I think with a lot of women, when they hear submission, it's like our minds, well, mine personally, it automatically goes to yes, sir, no, sir,
Yeah.
okay, sir.
Yeah.
And it's like you kind of got to stop yourself because that's not what the submission actually is. That's not what submission is. It's not the yes or no, sir. I have my boyfriend and I agree to disagree a lot of times. A
Hmm.
lot of times we agree to disagree, but again, that's where that submission is. I'm not going to fight you to be right.
Yeah.
If we agree to disagree, you already heard me and I already heard you and we understand that. But right now, we're not going to make this, we're not going to make this a big problem because it's nothing, you know. At that point, you don't realize that both of you are submitting to that situation. But I
Yeah.
think now what happens is that there's a fight for, oh, I got to be right. I got to be right. We don't have to always be right. We are so imperfect as well as they are too. We don't always have to be right. Like, it's okay. So that's really where the submission comes into. Babe, I had a bad day. Do you mind coming home a little early? That it comes off like, oh, that's disrespectful. He knew I was doing something. But if that's the man that you're gonna go home to later, like, what is the problem with going home a little earlier to go
Yeah.
ahead and be with him? Like, I don't understand where that gap in care came from, and that's the honest truth of it, you know. Like, I don't understand where that gap in care came from, you
Yeah.
know. It's just weird, and that's where that submission comes in from, you know, is showing that you care about that person. It's not the yes or no sir. Your man wants you to tell him no. He wants you to, you know what I mean, he wants that from you. He wants you to be like, no, I don't like that, no, you know what I mean? Don't do that. No, don't wear that. Your man wants to hear you, you know? So there's no argument to that. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just a lot has been lost.
No, no, I
Hmm.
definitely dig it. You know, I feel like because there's a lot of this stuff where I think people take talking points and it's like she needs to be a slave. She's my servant.
No.
I will never submit. How dare
No.
I submit to a woman? You eating the
Hmm.
box, you submitting. You performing certain acts, you're submitting. You're
Yeah.
proposing, you know, she's asking you to do something, you buying her roses when she's asking, you buying her
Yeah.
those red bottoms, you're submitting. You're doing different things, you're submitting. So
And
Jared, we
why
don't
are you
submit.
buying red bottoms before she's your wife? You know what I mean? Like, where is that competition for you and the other person to go ahead and work in that relationship and see what's going to happen? If I give you everything I'm supposed to give you right now and you become my husband, what do I have to really give you as your wife?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where is that little bit of kind of like back and forth? I'm sorry to cut you off, but you just like, I just remembered that, and that just bothers me.
But I think you should give it to me right now though, Tina. I don't think you should hold it till we get married. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm being honest, because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
So if you're a holy roller, I get it.
Hmm.
If you're on that type of time, but if we having sex before marriage, don't ever say anything about I'm not gonna do wifely duties at girlfriend prices. And I'm not saying you were alluding to that, but I just kind of picked that up from what you were saying. So
Yeah.
if you are gonna say
Right.
I'm not doing that until I get married, I don't know that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna marry you then. Like at
Yeah.
this point, if you're a holy roller, it's different. This doesn't apply to the holy rollers and fortune cookie quoters, as I like to
Hmm.
call it. But you're just like, well, I'm not gonna do that until I get married. I'm not gonna do this. But by the way, yeah, I want you to dive in head first tonight. I want you to make it last for 30 to 45 minutes optimally, and which is a wifely duty. That
Yeah.
is a wifely duty. I don't care what any woman says. You're basically giving me the gawk gawk and all this other stuff. That's a wifely duty. So how dare you say I'm not gonna do the rest of that stuff, but I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this? In my opinion, that's
Yeah.
just me. Just my thoughts on it.
Yeah. There
So
was actually a video I was watching. I think it was on Instagram the other day, and it was, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was just like a motivational speaker basically, and he had a crowd of women,
okay.
and the woman asked him something along the lines like, well, what if he pays for vacations for me and he does all these things? And the gentleman looked at her and he was like, well, are you going to go ahead and be intimate with him when he takes you on
I think I
vacation
know
and
what you're
does these
talking
things?
about.
Yeah.
I
And
think Pink Book just did a reaction to that.
yeah, and
Matter of fact.
she just looked at him and was like, no, you know, and I think that goes to say a lot about what's going on and what the reality of the situation is, you know, which is fine. You know, if you don't want to go ahead and, you know, fulfill certain duties as a partner, then you can't go ahead and pretend and play that role with a man
Right.
too. A man is only going to go ahead and give you what you're giving him, and that's the god
Mhm.
honest truth of it. You know, and that's the real, you know, if you show a man something, a man is only going to go ahead and give back for real, you know. That's the truth of it. So if you go ahead and you're showing that type of behavior, that's what he's going to go ahead and give you. If you want the money and you want the temporary time, he's going to give you that. You can't be mad when he doesn't want to go ahead and be serious with you and he has somebody else who went and showed him that. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? Yeah, like it's different out here now though. It's different out here. 2022 dating is not for me.
Hey, hey. So we got the question of the hour here coming up, Tina. But before we do, I don't think I had any super chats because nobody else. Y'all shout out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna shout out. I just got a Cash App, so I'm gonna shout out who sent me the Cash App because I think they're up on here. Shout out to Billionaire Ben for the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? If any of y'all feeling froggy, it's sliding across the bottom. We have the beautiful Tina on here tonight, live from Long Island. You know what I'm saying? She's giving some good information, giving some good game to you guys. I appreciate her being on. But we're arriving to the question of the hour here, which is what ladies and men want to know as well. Your time on this earth, Miss Gemini. What are your thoughts on intimacy in a relationship?
Like what specifically as far as like
Like,
intimacy, it ranges a lot.
so, many of us, we say, me personally, obviously intimacy just means to the definition, if you will, which I don't know, I guess you kind of alluding to, you know, being familiar with someone, knowing someone, being the closeness of someone. But
Yeah.
when in a relationship with someone, how do you view intimacy from your perspective, and what do you expect as well in terms of that? Like
I
the
like
loving, the
time.
kissing, sexual, like what's your
Yeah.
thoughts on that
I
from
love
both sides?
personal, yeah, I love personal time. I love personal time with my person. I love to just be alone with my person. I don't know if a lot of people understand when you can be alone with your person, or when you
Okay.
can share silence with your person,
Okay.
after a long day. Like that's intimacy to me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the God honest truth, or I have my child, and just seeing how that person relates to my child. That's intimate to me, because I'm seeing different aspects of you besides you being my man in front of me. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I hope that kind of made a little bit of sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think after that intimacy, I mean, what do I look for? I mean, and I like open partners. I want somebody who's open and upfront, and somebody who's, willing to put time in. So
Mm-hmm. So are you like a lovey-dovey, kissy? Are you like
yeah,
do you,
once I know like you're my person, like yeah, like there's no escaping.
there's no escaping. So is it so basically because you have some people that's just like, well, I'm not really on that. It's just if my partner's on that, I'll do that. I'll be intimate if my partner wants to, but I'm not really into being
Yeah,
on that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I just do things for my partner. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
In terms of that. So that I guess that's what I was asking too.
I don't know, like it's different. It's different, like I've obviously, like I said, like I've dated other men before, but I was never like huggy and kissy,
Yeah.
like it's different,
So
like
you were like a
when
dude. I'm just at because some women are like dudes.
I
I'm being
mean,
honest with you. So
attitude wise, if that's what you're asking, like yeah, definitely, definitely. I had that dude mentality, like going out there like that. Yeah, like
yeah.
it was
They
just
don't like
it was
some women don't like some women haven't like been with like they're just like I don't want like all that touchy. I don't like kissing.
yeah.
I just want
Mhm.
to we do that and just go about our business. I don't touch me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like that.
But that's just because like I knew that I didn't want that from anybody, you
Mm,
know? So it's like that's what I was gonna keep to. I knew. And I mean, and realistically and truly, like I am. Like I'm very lovey dovey. Like I love the hugs and the kisses and the cuddles. But why are you gonna do that with everybody? Everybody don't need to cuddle with me.
everybody, I'm just yeah, I get it. I'm just saying that special person though. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're not talking about any old dude. We just talking about that special
Yeah.
person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I like the cuddles and stuff like that. I like after the long day, I get a nice big hug. Like it's nice. But yeah. Prior to
I
that,
think
like I said, like dating, like you really don't care. Are you home safe? Okay, cool.
yeah. I think women once they introduced to that though, I think they learn to love it. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Once
definitely.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because some people don't know how to, and this is men and women, and that's why I say
Yeah.
that. When I say to women, they don't know how to be affectionate. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Yeah.
know. It makes them uncomfortable. In terms of that, looking in the, you can't even look the person in the eyes while you drilling.
But see, that's
You know
where
what I'm saying?
that cooperation comes from that I was talking about before, and that's where that almost equal submission comes from. If I'm
Mm,
gonna be lovey-dovey and I'm gonna be with the person who's not intimate all the time, but you say you love me and you want to be with me and you know how I am, you're
yeah.
gonna allow me to touch you in that loving way,
Right. Right.
and you're gonna allow me to be affectionate with you. And it's gonna be okay with him because you guys have that trust and you guys have cooperated and you guys have worked together to understand that. But if
Hmm.
it's just somebody that's temporary and like, even if the woman is looking at it longer than, the man is, at the same time, it's not going to be temporary. So, there's no reason to go ahead and just keep doing that everywhere and trying to cuddle and snuggle buddy and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Hey. Man, I don't know, man. I'm getting too old to not be on that type of time. I like all that shit. And any grown ass man that these are brand new Tims, my boy. You probably want to join. Not the message, but I use it on highlight. I should have been a super chat, but I felt your comment was worthy, so that's why I highlighted it, Sean. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Shout out to NYC. But yeah, I like all that shit. Any man that's getting age, if he like don't touch me, you still old. That's just me. I like all that shit. I like all that. Put
Yeah.
your hands on me, baby. Like, why wouldn't you want a woman touch? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
it's just me.
Even as
You know
a
what I'm
woman,
saying?
like I
So,
don't I don't get it. See, like I told you, like, I like athletic men. Like, you come home and like that's what you wanna like be all up on. Like you wanna just, you
but you
wanna
wouldn't want you wouldn't want something fat and soft. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I
I mean, I'm just saying, you want something, something that can, something nice and soft instead of a hard.
I just
Because I mean, like dudes, we don't want no hard woman. Like me personally, there's a certain there's a certain demographic that like women that are shaped like 8-year-old
yeah.
boys. I'll pass on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like a woman that's soft and things like that. So I'm just asking in terms of a dude. Your preference is your preference. I just figure,
Right.
you got a big offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? That you know may be able, as long as he smells good. Just like I heard women say, if he's big, as long as he smells good,
Yeah.
that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Yeah, for real, Paul. I mean, I don't know what I said to say pause, but I'm just speaking from her perspective to that.
I mean, I
You know what I
can't.
mean?
I like what I like. I like what I like. I
No,
can't.
no,
I
I'm not.
can't
I'm not.
help
I'm not.
it.
Not I'm
Yeah.
just throwing a scenario out there.
Yeah.
I never.
I had like in the past I dated like very like tall, like very skinny men, and like it
Yeah,
just didn't work for me. Like when I would hug him, it's like I was almost hugging back myself. And so
yeah, yeah. I would never. I wouldn't feel comfortable trying to change someone's perspective or their like. I think that's
yeah,
very corny. Trying to get
yeah,
someone to like you is even more corny. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
If it's not there, it's not there. You
Agreed.
feel me? So you said you're 5'4".
No, I'm 5'6".
Shit, 5'6". I'm sorry. Damn,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you are on a, you know, not quite
I'm
5'9".
yeah.
You're on the taller side. So
Yeah.
I've seen, I'm on your photo. I've seen your pictures and things like that. So you're 5'6". What are your measurements? If you don't mind me asking.
Me?
No, you.
Um,
I had to take it
I
back
mean,
to high school with you.
I think I'm pretty even to be honest with you. I really don't know my exact measurements, but I could tell you like dress size. I'm an 8 dress size.
She's an 8.
That I
She's an
can tell
8.
you. Mhm.
She needs to be a size 4.
Yeah, I can tell you dress size. I'm like an 8. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
she's an 8, 5'6". You got
Mhm.
got some height on. I'm just saying. You know how you watch my video, so you know what type of time I'm on. She's an 8. She's supposed to
Yeah.
be a 4. Come on,
Yeah.
bro. Like, sheesh.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. Even when I see Kevin Samuel say it, sometimes like I get a little bothered. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not the one on the phone.
Yeah, I'm not tripping. Like there's. I mean that forest stuff, man. That's you. Like another man, just like another one. Another man
Yeah.
can. What I find attractive or is, you know, like is my preference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like, you know, you say an 8, you know, somebody's like, oh, she needs to be dress size 4 and
Yeah.
all this stuff like that. And it's just like, bro,
I'm not
you know what I
working
mean?
to be on
So
statistics. I had a child. I am 34 years old. I am just trying to be happy in the skin that I'm in at this point. Like that's the honest truth of it. Health is wealth. You know what I
indeed.
mean? Like I'm still here, especially after the whole pandemic and whatever. Like I just want to be healthy and take care of myself and eat right, and that's all.
She's cold, fellas. She's cold. If y'all didn't know, she's cold anyway. So what do you do? What do you do up there in on your free time up there in New York? Being with this whole, you know, obviously New York is ground zero. I know things are getting better. Y'all just lifted.
Yeah.
I think y'all lifted something up there recently. With
Yeah, they
COVID.
took the masks out of like schools and like
Right.
some of the public places and things like that.
Right.
In my free time, honestly, I mean, I do work out. I hang out with my daughter a lot. We do a lot together.
Mm-hmm.
I like I told you, you know, I have a business with my boyfriend, so I do a lot of research for that and just to really kind of get myself up on that too, because I just want to be good at what I do.
Mm-hmm. No, I dig it.
I do that. I like to read too. I love to read. The Alchemist is one of my favorite books, just to kind of give you an idea of what I like to read. Yeah, The Alchemist is
Pablo
amazing.
Coelho.
Pablo Coelho, he's Portuguese too.
Yep. Indeed.
Yeah.
Continue.
That's pretty much it. Oh, I love food. I love food. I love to cook. I love to watch cooking videos. I love I just love food. I absolutely positively love food. I went to college for food. Shout out to New York City Tech. Love it. Like I love food. I love to when I was in college, I loved it
You
too
speaking
because
to the king foodie, but yeah, continue.
yeah, like we used to go to like different grocery stores and I love to go to different grocery stores. I wish I could just travel the world and just eat food across the world. Like that would just be my dream. I don't
That's my
know how I'm
part-time
paying for
job.
the food. I don't know how I'm paying for the food, but I want to
It's
go
my
and just eat the
part-time
food.
job, but yeah, continue. Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Hey, it can happen, man. You read The Alchemist enough, you got it. Say
I
less.
know. I love food. I absolutely love food. I have traveled a lot. My family is very into traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone a couple of places. And even when I go to those places, like my family is not the type to stay in a resort. We like to go out on the town, talk to
Yeah.
locals and stuff like that. So I'm very well cultured and open minded in that sense. So yeah, like that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm.
Very, very cultured. Caribbean, Gemini, 34 or 5'6", dress size 8, business oriented. She's in May. She'll be 35 shortly, having 2 more kids, God willing. And she's from Long Island. All those great things. So this has been awesome. You know, we definitely got you know, a look into the life of a I don't want to. I want to say modern. I don't. When I say modern, I don't mean in a negative connotation, but in a modern New Yorker, a modern New York woman. You know that. You know, behind the scenes in terms of those things. Any parting words or anything that you would like to that we didn't cover, Tina?
Always just listen and self-analyze. I think that's two of the biggest things I would tell my younger self, to be honest with you.
Mm,
Listen and always self-analyze. You know, even after you listen to something, you got to think about how you're going to react to what's being said.
okay,
So yeah, listen and self-analyze. I think self-analyzing is something that's taken for granted, to be honest with you.
for sure.
Hmm.
What's up with the artwork? And I see the artwork. Let me know what's happening.
What do you mean? Where? Oh, the tattoos?
Yeah. What's happening?
Okay, this is actually one of my favorite ones. So this right here, this is a dang it, hold on, there we go. So this one is a dragon spitting out a phoenix. Yeah, I'm very into like dragons and like mythological creatures and stuff like that. Like I love that kind of stuff, like Greek mythology and like ancient Chinese mythology and stuff. Like I'm very into it. It's cool, but I also love the fact too that phoenixes just mean rebirth, and dragons are very like hidden and sinister, and phoenixes are not known for that. Phoenixes are actually very calm and independent, and they were actually known as good omens and good figures and things like that. So
Indeed.
I think that, yeah, that's pretty cool. So
So
yeah, that's
dragon.
actually one of my favorites.
So she's deep into mythology,
Mhm.
dragons and the phoenix, Greek and China, and whatever. Um, so what the hell was I about to ask you? We talked about, you already said the mythology. So is
Yeah.
that all the tattoos you have? Do you have other tattoos?
I have a couple. I have about, I think, four or
Or
five now. Yeah.
what
It's
else
over
do
a
you have?
period of time though. I have one that my mother drew. I had one that I shared with my sister and my two cousins.
What
Um,
are they? Don't just say I got one. What are they?
oh, okay. Well, my
Yeah.
mother drew one. It's a love knot. I don't know if you know what a love knot is. You could probably Google that. It's actually a Celtic thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, in
Yeah.
a love knot in the heart. Yeah. So my
Hmm.
mother drew it herself, and we have that. And then I have actually a Reiki symbol on my
Yeah.
shoulder. My aunt's name was Shanti, and one of the Reiki symbols is Shanti because it means peace, and so that's what I have on my shoulder. And then I have my daughter's name on this one. I have
I
this
think
on
I've
my
seen that
arm.
on the one you sent me. I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that one is probably, yeah, that one's one of my main ones. So that's in like a lot of my pictures and stuff like that. I have this one, Elise volat pro please, which means she flies with her wings in Latin. So yeah, I got a couple of inks in my life. Nothing too bodacious though.
You coming through with these? You coming through with the bodacious, the frank, the earnest. You said a word earlier. I was about to get you on. You said something. I can't remember. I should have called you out when you said it, but you said another
You should have.
one of those
You
ancient
should have.
words. Um, you know what I'm
When you
saying?
find out what it is, you got to send it to me later because it'll be a good laugh. I know that for sure.
Yeah, yeah, you know. So yeah. So where can, if people want to follow you, where can they find you at?
Instagram would be best. My Instagram would be best. I believe that you have it. You could go ahead and you can put it up with the video if you'd like to, Jay.
Well, I'm asking you right now for the people that in real
But
time. It's gonna
yes,
be in the it's going to be in the description, but where can they find you?
it'll be Instagram at Leah's mommy, Liyas mommy.
Mhm.
And again, that's on Instagram. Yeah, I'm just a regular chick, that's really it. For real. I have my own interests and my own things I like to do, but I really just like to cook and be a mom. That's where my two favorite things are.
Keeping it simple. That's right.
Yeah.
Ain't out there, doing something strange out on the net. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
The
out there
internet is
soliciting.
crazy now. Like I wish everybody just played Oregon Trail and called it a day. Like the internet is
You're the
crazy.
second person I've heard say Oregon Trail. Like because I always grew up saying Oregon Trail, and I guess for some
Yeah.
reason I've been saying it wrong all this time. But somebody was like,
No,
"Yeah,
I think
it's
maybe that's the
Oregon
New
Trail." I'm
York.
like, "Oregon? Is that how you say it,
Maybe
Oregon?"
maybe it's the New York. Like I would say
Nah,
Oregon,
because I've had people down here say, "Yeah, you don't remember playing Oregon Trail?" I was like, "Oregon." You know what I'm saying? Like I used to remember, but I guess that's how you say it. You know what I'm saying? I lived in
Yeah.
Washington for 2 years, and I never heard
Okay.
anybody say Oregon. But I
Yeah.
guess that's how people were. I'm not knocking you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying
Yeah.
I've heard other people say Oregon, so I'm just like, well,
That's
maybe
funny. Yeah, I
maybe
always
there's
always called it Oregon Trail. That was what I always called it, Oregon Trail.
yeah, that's
So
for
maybe
all
it
us.
is Oregon. Maybe you're right because it is an AM.
I mean, I've always called it Oregon, but shout out to
Yeah.
everybody from the '80s that used to play Oregon Trail. You got me fucking it up. Used to play Oregon Trail on the floppy disk. We used to take the floppy disk,
Yep.
put it in those old Apple computers, and push the
Oh
little
my
thing
God.
down to lock the shit in place. And used to, die from
That was a real
dysentery and
floppy. That was the big floppy disk. That was
yeah.
the big square one
Yeah,
then.
it was about this big. It was about the little floppy. You push it in the drive, push the shit down. You know what I'm saying? And you,
Hmm.
motherfuckers dying from dysentery, and you shooting the bears with the gun, and you doing all this shit like this.
And you really had the little horse and carriage too. It was cool.
Yeah,
It was cool.
we talking about
Yeah.
y'all young kids don't know nothing about this, man. Y'all don't know about Oregon Trail, or word munchers and all that, number munchers and all that shit. Yeah,
Hmm.
facts. But y'all heard it. Y'all follow Tina there. You know what I'm saying? Check her out. All y'all New Yorkers, y'all, she probably telling y'all a familiar story. You guys, excuse me, use guys have already heard before.
That was good.
You guys
That was
got fed
good.
out there where everybody starved in the streets. It's my turn. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Frank White. You know, that was
This was
MSDOS.
awesome. I had fun. This was
Yeah,
cool.
I appreciate you coming on. In the clutch.
Yeah.
Not Carmella clutch, but you came through in the clutch. You know what I'm saying? Those who know that reference, they get it. But hey, you know what I'm saying? This has been great. Damn, we've been on here an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this was fun though. It was
Yeah,
fun. I think a lot was said. It was progressive, and that was definitely what we hoped for in the beginning. So this was good.
indeed. I gotta go back through and delete this copyright music once this once I close this, because you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You
Yes, I
know,
do remember that. It's
yeah,
all right. We got to funk it out first.
yeah, yeah, we got that. So, with that being said, I appreciate you coming on tonight, Tina. And God willing, we're gonna do a follow-up, or we're gonna rap with you about some other
Absolutely.
topics, you know what I'm saying? And you have a good night, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I do hope so. We will keep in touch, and everyone else be safe and God bless, okay?
God bless. Be easy.
Bye.
All right, peace. Yo, so this has been another night of the Cuff and Reason show, guys. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, everybody who gave a super chat, everybody who gave a cash app. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You know what I'm saying? We trying to build this up to make this the best dating show, best show on YouTube, period. I've been struggle streaming as of late. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who tuned in from the earlier stream. The Chicken Wing and Communion podcast is coming this Thursday, episode 1. So you guys make sure you tune in to that. I appreciate you guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Support the channel, guys. You know what I mean? If you rock with me, go ahead and do that. Tell your friends about me. Tell 5 friends about me. That way, they tune in as well. If you weren't able to make it tonight, you know, make sure you catch me next Monday. Catch one of my. I'm going to start doing these more frequently, guys. You know what I'm saying? So you guys can see more of my beautiful face, because I know y'all been missing it. You feel me? So we gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep getting y'all dates. We'll keep getting y'all married. You know what I'm saying? Keep getting y'all situated or in situations that you never saw in your wildest dreams. So, you know, that's how we rocking. I appreciate you guys. Do my best to come with more content. I'm gonna try to give y'all the real as usual, no fake ish. You know what I'm saying? No tomfoolery, any of that. So I'm try to be as honest and as forthcoming with you guys as possible, and tell you from my experience from a man that's almost 40 years old. I know I don't look it. I look every bit of 26, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys rocking with me. And with that being said, if you guys are interested in being on the next episode or being a guest on the Cuffing Reason show, me talking to the mic, because I'm talking in front of the mic when I should be talking right here. If you guys are interested in being a guest on the Cuffing Reason show, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram or email me at grwisdomunlimited@gmail.com. Everything is in the description. Excuse me, it's getting late. Yo, hit me up on there, man. I got you guys. If you guys are ever wondering what's going on and you guys are trying to get down to the bottom of some ish, and you want and objective, and I want to say objective, I want to use that word lightly. You guys can take it how you want it. If you guys want an objective opinion from a third party, make sure you guys book a one-on-one with your, your favorite YouTuber here that you guys are currently tuned into. And, I'll do my best to tell you exactly what's going on and give you, advise you to the best of my ability. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for. And listen, man. Am I on just Facebook? Yeah, I guess you are. Make sure you guys purchase the books of merch, man. Purchase your t-shirt, purchase all the books, man. Get on become a member of the channel where you guys are going to get, enjoy perks like exclusive content. Definitely with my Patreon, I'm coming with a lot of more self-help, i.e., how to build your YouTube, grooming, dating, more things that I can't, more subjects that I can't put on here. So make sure you guys, become a patron. The link is in the description for my Patreon. That way you guys are getting access to all those things that, you're taking these almost 40 years of wisdom. I'm not using that term lightly either. 40 years of wisdom. It's going to be at your disposal. And I'm going to cover things where you guys are looking to travel, you guys are looking to build your credit, you guys are looking to get access to funding, all those things. I'm going to give you access to that, things that I use personally. This isn't any BS. So that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Everything that I said already. And with that being said, listen, guys, this is wisdom. Peace be upon you all, the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one, man. Y'all see my bootleg music? My bootleg outro. I'm gonna have to cut this shit out, man. I'm gonna have to cut it out, man, because but hey, we gonna rock with it while we live. Y'all not gonna hear it on the restream, but we gonna do it right now. Damn, I'm struggling tonight, bro. Yo, this shit cutting out. I'm struggling like a motherfucker tonight, man. Hey, yo, we having a good time, though. We having a good time. Be easy, man. Y'all have a good night. Clap some cheeks for your homie tonight, man.